Good morning, students. This is Sivakrishna from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, TBS Institute of Technology, Kavali. Today I am going to presentation on statical process control. So this is Unit 3, is a continuation topic from the Unit 3, statical process control. So in last class, we can discuss about the quality circuits, the introduction and quality circuits, history of quality circuits, organizational structure, launching of quality circuits, operations of quality circuits, characteristics of quality circuits, basic problem solving techniques, causes for failures of quality circles, quality circle goals, and roles and responsibilities in the quality circles. Next, Koro Ishikawa basic concepts, aim, theoretical conversion, practical examples, the advantages and disadvantages of the Ishikawa or fishbone or cause and effect diagrams. So this is the last class we can discuss about the quality circles. So today you can continuation from the third unit. So this is the last topic from the statical process control. So let us start the class. So next the contents are definition, importance of statical process control, quality measurements in the manufacturing. Next, statical control charts, introduction, types of variations, control charts, process capability, basic definitions, use of process capability information, standardization formula, relationship to product specific signification, the capability index. This is the content today we can go into presentation, the statical process control. So this is the last topic from the unit 3. First go into definition. Statical process control as the application of statical method to the measurement and analysis of variation in the process. So coming to the statical process control, it is the measurement method to measure the analysis process. So the statical process is the analysis process. So in this analysis process, we can use the various analysis methods. So we can discuss it one by one. These techniques applied in both in process parameters and end of process parameters. So the statical process parameters we can apply two parameters. The first parameter is applied in both in process parameters and end of process parameters. A process is a collection of activities that convert inputs into outputs or the results. So the process, the entire process work is so collection of activity to convert input to output results. So we can input is given, the can convert the data for running the programming. So finally the results will be produced in the output process. So this is the statical process control process arranging in the input to the output process to convert the problem in the activities to convert the input to output or results. More especially a process in a unique combination of mission, tools, methods, material, and people that attain an output in good software or services. So this is the definition of the special statical process control. Importance of HPC. So what importance in statical process control? So the importance is reduce waste, reduction in time which is required to produce the product, detecting errors at inspection, reduces inspection cost, save cost of material by reducing number of rejects, more uniform quality of production, customer satisfaction. It provides direction for long-term reduction in process variability. It is a stable process and operates with less variability. So these are the importance in the statical process control. The first importance is the reduce the waste. So when by using the waste is so the when the product is designing, the waste product is the waste of the product can be produced in a production unit. So the waste will be reduced. This is the most important factor in the statistical process control. The next point is reduction in time which is required to produce the product. So we can less than the time. So we can we order the product by giving a some time. The time means the example. The time means so we can develop manufacture the product so 2 hours. So we can produce a product in 1 hour 45 minutes. So this is the reducing time. So require the product is produce the product. So it is the most important for the statistical process control. So we can reduce the time will be reduced. The product can be delivered within a time to the customer. This is the another importance of the statistical process control. Next, detecting errors at inspection. Next, we can check the product in quality circle. The errors will be detected at the inspection. So the errors will be reducing. The final product will be delivered to the customer. So, but without checking the errors, the product will be delivered to the customer. It is when the product will be damaged. This is a fault of the customer and management. This is the once we can check the product can complete the process or completed the production. Next we can check the quality process. So why we check in the quality means so we can rectify the errors. So the product will be rectify the errors and the inspection is important for the statistical process control. So next, reduces inspection cost. So the cost will be reduced. The we can inspection the product. The cost is less than the limit. So this is the most important. The cost will be reduced for the inspection the product. Next, save cost of material by reducing number of rejects. So saves the cost of materials. So cost will be high. The materials will be saved many. So it will be used for the production unit. So we can reduce the number of rejections. The material cost will be reduced and save the materials. Also, more uniform quality of production. So we can use the quality products. It is a uniformly applied to the all products. So this is the most important for the statistical process control. Next, customer satisfaction. Once the product will be delivered, the customer will be satisfied or not. So this is the most important for the statistical process control. This one is the most important process. Once the customer will be satisfied or not, the product will be delivered to the within a time. The customer will be satisfied or good product will be delivered by the customer. The customer also will be satisfied. Next, another product will be delivered to the another customers also. So this is the important factor important factors for this statistical process control. Customer satisfaction is the most important. It provides direction for long-term reduction in process variability. It is a suitable process and operation with less variability. This is the importance of the statistical process control. Next, quality measurement in manufacturing. So what is the quality measurement in manufacturing unit? So quality measurement is the central for the process of quality control. What gets measured gets done. So quality measurement is a central process in the quality control. Quality measurement is the most important for the manufacturing unit. So by using the quality measurement, what gets measured get done. This is the quality measurement central process in the quality control. So measurement is basic for all three operational quality process and for statistical measurement. The quality measurements can be divided into three operational quality process. So what are they? So first one is quality control measurement. The second one is operational quality planning measurement. The third one is quality improvement measurement. So So these are all the three operation quality measurements produced in the checking in the quality measurement in manufacturing. So coming to the quality control measurement, it provides feedbacks and easily warnings of problems. Next, operational quality planning measurement qualifies customer need and product and process capability. Next, quality measurement, quality improvement measurement can motivate people, prioritize improvement opportunities, and help in diagnosis causes. This is the quality measurement in manufacturing process. So these are the three operations used in the quality measurement. Next, statistical control chart. Statistical control chart. A statistical control chart compares process performance data to computed statistical control limits drawn as limit lines on the chart. Prime objective of control chart is detecting special causes of variation in a process by analyzing data from both the past and the future. So prime object in the control chart is detecting the causes in various process to analyze the data in the past and the future. So it is the most used to satisfy statistical control chart. The process variations has two kinds of causes. The causes are common, special. So common causes and special causes. So coming to the common causes, it is a random or it will be changed the common causes. So special means assignable. Next, the types of variations. So what are the types of variations in the statistical process control? Two kinds of variations occurs in all manufacturing process. So by providing the variations two types, two kinds of variations provided in the manufacturing process. What are the two types? Common cause variation or random cause variation, special cause variation or assignable cause variation. So these are the two kinds of variations occurred in the manufacturing process. So coming to the common cause variation or random cause variations are, it consists of the variation inherent in the process as it is designed. It may include variations in temperature, properties of raw materials, strength of an electrical current, etc. Common cause is the only type of variation that exists in the process and the process is said to be in control and stable. So this is the common causes variation and random causes variation. So coming to the second one, special cause variation or assignable causes variation. With sufficient investigation, a special cause such as abnormal raw material or incorrect setup parameters can be found for special cause variations. The special cause variation exists within the process and the process is said to be out of control and unstable. So this is the types of variations in the manufacturing process. Statistical process control chart is one method of identifying the types of variation present. In statistical process control charts are especially simple graphical tools that enable process performance monitoring, designed to identify which type of variation exists within the process. Designed to highlight areas that may require further investigation, easy to construct and interpret. Easy to construct and interpret. This is the chart, statistical process control chart. It is essentially used in the various manufacturing products. Two most popular SPC tools are run chart and control chart. So these two statistical charts used to most popular used in the statistical process control. In SPC charts can be applied to both dynamic processes and static processes. SPC charts can be applied in both dynamic process and static process. So coming to the control charts, it shows the variation in a measurement during the time period of the process is observed. Monitor processes to show how the process is performing and how the process's capabilities are affected by changes to the process. This information is then used to make quality improvements. A time-ordered sequence of data with a center line calculated by the beings. It is used to determine the capability of the process. So it helps to identify special or assignable causes for factors that impede peak performance. This is the control chart. The control charts have four key features. So it has provided the four key features. The four key features are data point, the average or center line, the upper control limit and lower control limit. First point is data point. Either averages are of subgroup measurements or individual measurements plotted on the x or x by y axis and joined by a line. This is always on x-axis. The average or central line. The average or mean of the data point and to drawn across the middle section of the graph. So usually as heavy or solid line. So the upper control limit drawn above the center line and denoted as upper control limit. This is often called as +3 sigma line. The lower control limit, the drawn below the center line is denoted as the lower control limit. So this is called as -3 sigma line. So this is the control chart diagram. So this plot diagram will be varied. The diagram can be drawn in variables and type. So this is the midpoint. We can note it on the control line. This is the center line. The upper center line we can note UCL is the upper control line and the lower control line. So this is a +3 sigma line. This is a -3 sigma line. The first data point. Either average subgroup measurements or individual measurements plotted on XY axis. So the average of the subgroup measurements can be plotted on the diagram. If the time and variable diagram we can be plotted. So this is the plotted diagram. We can show the a control chart. So next average or central line. The average or mean of the data point is drawn across the middle section is a graph. This is a heavy or solid line. So this is the average center line. We can draw the middle of the center line. So we can choose the middle point. This is the midpoint of the center line. Next, the graph will be crossed to the upper control line. This is the +3 sigma line. So the graph will not touch the lower control line. So this is the -sigma line. The time will be taken as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds. And finally, the various variables is -100, 0, 100, 200, 300. So 100 is the midpoint to the control central line, and this one is the upper central line and lower central line. Control limit and lower upper control limit and lower control limit. So this is the control chart diagram. Next, the control limit define the 0, which is where the observed data for the stable and consistent process occur virtually all of time, 97%. So the control limit defined to 0. So this one is the the plot of the graph is the 0 point. So the graph point is noted as 99.7%, Table constant process occurs in the control define the zero zone. So any fluctuations within these limits come to common causes inherent to the system, such as choice of evident equipment, scheduled maintenance, or the precision of the operation that results from the design. An outcome beyond the control limit results from the special causes. The automatic control limit has been set at 3 sigma limits. This is the control chart explanation. Next, the area between each control limit and center line is divided into trots. So zone A, zone B, and zone C is, so these are the three stages can be divided in the zone. So this one is the zone A plus sigma zone plus 1 sigma zone A minus 1 sigma zone A plus alage plus 2 sigma zone B minus 2 sigma zone B plus 3 sigma zone C minus 3 sigma zone C. Coming to the zone A, 1 sigma zone. So this is the, so this 68.3%, this is the zone A is 1 sigma zone. 1 sigma zone zone A is the 68.3% occurred in the divide of the product. So the next one is zone B. So zone B is this one. So this is the zone B plus 2 sigma zone. So this is the 2 sigma zone process. The 2 sigma zone process is the 95.5%. So we can see the graph also. This is the 95.5% is the plus 2 sigma zone. So next third zone C. This is the 3 sigma zone. So coming to the 3 sigma zone, we can see that this one is a 3 sigma zone and this one is a plus 3 sigma zone. So compared to the this one is 99.7% occurred in the zone C. 3 sigma zones occurred in the particular product in the control chart. So this graph will show the 68.3% in the zone A, 95.5% in the zone B, 99.7% in the zone C. So next, types of control charts. So the control charts can be divided into two parts. So the first one is a variable chart and attribute charts. So coming to the variable chart, it can be divided into two groups. So this one is R chart and X bar chart. So coming to the attributes, so attributes can be divided into two parts. The first one is a P chart and C chart. So this is the types of control charts. The control charts can be divided into two stages. So variable charts and attributes chart. So coming to the variable charts, it can be divided into two different groups. So R chart and X bar chart. And coming to the attribute chart, so this also can be divided into two groups. So P charts and R charts. So you can discuss it one by one. Types of control charts. So first one, variable chart and attribute chart. So coming to the variable chart, variable data are measured on the continuous scale. So the data should be variable. So it should be measured in the continuous scale process. So example, in the variable chart, time, weight, distance or temperature can be measured in fractions or decimals. Apply to data with continuous distribution. So this is the variable chart. So coming to the attribute chart, attribute data are counted and cannot have fractions or decimals. Attribute data arise when you are determining only the presence or absence of something, success or failure, accept or reject, correct or not correct. In coming to attribute chart, attribute data analyze when you are determining the presence. So when we can attribute charts, we can be presence or present and absent. It can be sometimes we can access as success or failure, accept or reject, incorrect or correct. So example in attribute chart, a report can have 4 or 5 errors, but it cannot have 4.5 errors. So we can choose the report. The report can be 4 or 5 may be provided in the errors in the particular product, but it cannot have 4.5 errors. It cannot taken as 4.5 errors. We can take 4 or 5 errors only. We cannot take in half errors, 4.5 errors, 3.5 errors, 2.5 errors. So this is not taken in. So we can take in only round form, round figure, 4 or 5 only. Applied to data following discrete distribution. So this is the attribute chart. So coming to the variable chart, it can be divided into two parts. So R chart and X chart. So coming to the R chart, it controls the dispersal of the process. Coming to the X chart, it controls the central tendency of the process. So coming to the R chart, R is the range or difference between the highest and lowest values in sample. Coming to the X chart, it shows sample means over time. It measures, coming to the R chart, it measures gain or loss of uniformity within a sample, which represents the variability in responsible variable over time. So coming to the R chart, it measures the gain or loss. It is a uniform within the sample. It represents the variable response and a variable over time can be provided in the R chart. So coming to the X chart, it is a monitor process average. So examples in the R chart, weigh samples of coffee and computes ranges of samples plots. Next example is the X chart. Weigh samples of coffee and compute means of simple plots. So this is the X chart and R chart. So next, P chart and control chart. Coming to attribute chart, it can also be divided into two parts. So the two parts is P chart and C chart. So coming to the P chart, it traces the proportional or present of non-conformance unit or present detective in each sample over time. So coming to the C chart, it shows the number of non-conformities, that is defects in the unit. Unit may be chair, steel sheet, car, etc. Size of the unit must be constant. So examples in the P chart, count defective chairs and divided by total chairs inspected. So chairs is either defective or not defective. So coming to the C chart, so example is count defects, scratches, chips, etc. in chair of sample of 100 chairs. So this is the P chart and C chart. Next, advantages of statistical control. It provides means of detecting errors in the inspection. It leads to more uniform quality of production. It improves the relationship with the customer. It reduces the cost. It reduces the number of rejects and saves the cost of material. It determines the capabilities of the manufacturing process. It provides direction for long-term reduction in process variability. It is a stable process and operation with less variability. This is the advantages in the statistical process control. So next, process capability. So what is a process capability? Process capability study distinguish between conformance to control limit and conformance to special limits, so also known as tolerance limit. So in this statistical process capability, it is distinguished between the control limit and specification limit. It conforms to the specification limit. It is also known as the tolerance limit. If the process means in the control, then virtually all points wireline main within the control limit. Staying within control limit does not necessarily means the specification limit are satisfied. Specification limits are usually dictated by the customer. This is the process capability. So next, basic definition of process capability. So process, it refers some machine, tools, methods and people engaged in the production. So capability means it refers an ability based on tested performance to achieve measurable results. Next, process capability, it refers performance of the process when it is operating in control. Measured capability, it refers the fact that process capability is qualified from data. Inherent capability, it refers the product uniformity resulting from process. So this is the basic definitions in the process capability. Product is measured because product variation is end result. Process capability provides a qualified prediction of process adequacy. Use of process capability information. So what is the use of process capability information is predicting the extent of variability that process will exhibit. Choose most appropriate process to meet the tolerance. Planning the inner relationship to sequences process. To assign the missions to work for which they are best suited. Testing causes of defect during quality improvement programming. So these are the uses in the process capability information. Next, standardized formula in process capability. The most widely used formula in process capability is, so process capability is plus or minus 3 sigma, where sigma equal to standard deviation of the process. If the process is centered and follows normal probability within plus or minus 3 sigma of the normal specification. So at product 99.37% product will fall in the statistical formula, standardized formulas. So the relationship between the product specification, the major relation for qualifying process capability is to complete the ability of the process to hold the specification. Planner try to select a process within the 6 sigma process capability will within the specification with the measure of this relationship is the capability ratio. So the ratio means CP is a capability process, CP equal to upper specification minus lower specification by 6 sigma, where sigma equal to standard deviation of the process, where USL equal to upper specification limit, LSL is equal to lower specification limit. That means Cp equal to USL minus LSL by 6 sigma. So process capability is Cp equal to USL minus LSL by 6 sigma. So where USL is upper specification limit, so LSL is a lower specification limit. Next, the 4 examples for the process variability. So you can see the 4 examples in the process variability. So 4 examples for the process variability. So in this graph we can plot it as a lower specification limit and upper specification limit. The process capability is less than 1.0 and 1.0, 1.33, 1.63. So this is the 4 examples in the process capability. Next, the total amount outside the limit. The total amount outside the limit and typical solution to be taken. So coming to the total amount outside the limit in process capability is less than 1.0 is greater than or equal to 5.0% is the typical action to be taken as heavy process control, sorting, rework, etc. So coming to the next one, the process capability is 1.0. The total amount outside the limit is 0.3%. So coming to the total actions to be taken, heavy process control, inspection. So next, third one, process capability is 1.33. The total amount of outside the limit is 64 ppm. So it reduces inspections, selected use of control charts. So coming to the fourth one, the last one, this one is a 1.63 in process capability. So the total amount outside of the limit is 1 ppm. The typical action to be taken as spot checking, selected use of control charts. So these are the 4 examples used in the process variability. Next, capability index. The capability index CPK. Capability index measures potential capability assuming the process average is to equal the midpoint of the specification limit and the process is operating in statical control because the average often not at the midpoint. It is usually to have complex capability index that reflects both variation and the location of the process average. Such index is the capability index CPK. Since CPK, therefore CPK equal to upper specification limit minus X by 3 sigma, or CPK equal to X minus lower specification limit by 3 sigma, where X is the process mean, sigma is the standard deviation of the process population. Next, the capability index. If actual average equal to midpoint of the specification range, plus capability index CPK equal to CP, where CP equal with the CP is the lower the amount of product outside specification limit. A capability index can also be calculated around a target value rather than actual average. This index called as Taguchi index CPM. Krishnamurthy and Khatwani in 2000 process capability index for handling normal and non-normal characteristics. Types of process capability studies. So it has divided into two types: in study of process potential, in study of process performance. So coming to the study of process potential, an estimation is obtained of what the process can be under certain conditions. So then go to the CP index estimate potential process capability. Next, coming to the second one, study of process performance. An estimation of the capability provides a picture of what the process is doing over the extended period of time. So then go to cunning the CPK index estimate performance process capability. So these are the types of process capability studies. Next, assumptions of statistical control and its effects on process capability. So there are 5 key assumptions provided in statistical capability. The first one is process stability. The second one is the normality of the characteristics being measured. Next, sufficient data. Next, representativeness of samples. Next, independence of measurement. So this is the 5 key assumptions of the statistical control and its effects in the process capability. So coming to the process stability, statistical validity requires a state of statistical control with no drift or oscillation. So coming to the normality of the characteristics being measured, so normality is needed to draw statistical information about the population. So sufficient data, it is necessary to minimize the sampling errors for the complexity index. Next, representativeness of samples. So it must include random samples. Next, the fifth one is independence of measurements. So it consecutive measurements cannot be corrected. So these are the 5 key points or 5 key assumptions used in the statistical control. Are not critically refinements. There are important conditions for applying capability index. So this is the end of this third unit in the statistical process control. Thank you.